Sketch. What's up? You should be on Twitch more often. I know. Okay, so let me show you what I need. I think I may have shown you this before actually, so this may look familiar to you. So this cover, I need it to be, this is just a mock-up cover. Okay, am I going now? Okay. Hello? I mean, it shouldn't be echoing. Let me hear myself. Hold on. Because I have it on. Okay. Let me close this. It's fine now. Okay. Sweet. So this cover here is the one that I want to have done. And I think I mean, it was a long time ago. It was like maybe 3-4 years ago that I had first discussed this with you. I'm basically putting this series over here on pause for the moment. And right now I'm returning to writing novels, and I'm returning with this series. And the idea is I want to take the same character and age him throughout 4 covers. So the first cover, he would be much younger than this person here that you see on the cover. Like, this is clearly a man. He needs to look like a boy of around 15 years old. And so I've decided that I do want to have his face kind of turning slightly for each cover, so that in the 4th cover he's completely in profile, because he's going to be wearing like an Indian headdress, so I want to be able to show like that in profile, and you won't really see it all that well if he's head on. But for the first one, I do want it to be like his face, and then he's turned slightly, and then he's turned slightly again for the 3rd cover, and then the 4th cover he's completely profile. And like I said, in each one he's aging up like maybe a year or two. And he's gonna have certain scars, or his face is gonna be painted a certain way to kind of show that he's aging up. Um, but yeah, it's just gonna be the face. Like that's all I want, and I do want like this kind of way that it's done, where the neck is kind of fading out from the shoulders. That kind of style, I guess you could say. And he's gonna be native, so he's gonna be like a little bit like light brown. Um, he will be bald. I have to come up with what like kind of facial features. Um, so yeah, for each book. So the first book would be this would look like this, and then the second book cover, his face would be turning slightly, and then the third book cover, it would be turned a bit more, and until the fourth book cover, it'll be a complete profile view. Um, but the first cover, I want him to be like his eyes, like he's almost looking at you when you hold up the book. Um, so I want it to be a front facing. I don't know how you would call it. Um, for the first book, and I'm not sold on like the background color or anything like that. I know that I do want maybe some sort of, I want it to look like it's been painted. Um, so I wanted to have, I want the background to have like full brush strokes. I want it to almost look like, I have to find examples of what I mean, but I want it to look um, like this has been painted on canvas almost. I wonder if I could find. Um, yeah, here we go. Yeah, I'd love for it to have sort of like a brush stroke effect. Um, but I'll write down all of my thoughts. Um, yeah, like that kind of a texture for the background, and for him as well, if you wanted to do that. I wouldn't mind, and I'll tell you what his face paint should look like, because each time they age up, they change their face paint based on their age, or what role they play within the tribe that they're in, like what job they have, and stuff like that. So not only will his face be turning for each cover, but his face paint will be different for each one, which will kind of be a signal to the reader that he has taken on this new role within the story, and himself, etc. So I'll tell you like where the face paint is and what color the face paint should be, um, because I have to work that out myself. But there will be face paint on him. I know that for youth, it's white face paint. They wear white, so yeah. So each one will have different face paint. Like I said, like in the last one where he's completely profile, I really like that one because he's gonna have a scar on his lip. He's gonna look really like smudges and dirt on his face, but really the ornate thing is gonna be the headdress, the and I think it's called a headdress. I keep calling it that, but yeah, that's what it's called. So I'm gonna want it to be, something like this, but with not these colors, probably different colors. I'll have to decide what the colors will be, but I want it to be profile. So his head would be like right in this thing facing that way, because the part that's most important will be the feathers, that and the hat that he's wearing, more so than his actual face. But you will be able to see like a scar and you know, like the dirt on his face to show that he's been through a lot. Um, but definitely like for the fourth book, so we don't even have to worry about that for quite some time because I'm not getting to the fourth book for like another 2.5 years probably based on my timetable. Um, but I definitely want to do something like that. But for the first book, yeah, full front view. Like I said, I don't plan on like having this book ready for release till summer of next year. So there's like so much time. Um, so you know you don't even have to like stress about it. I'm really making sure that I give myself a lot of leeway and a lot of time for each book. So while I plan on finishing the first book this year, I don't plan on actually releasing it until next summer. Just like I said, to give myself time on it and stuff like that, and to raise the funds that I need to pay you and to pay other people, and to get all my ducks in a row, and et cetera, et cetera. So there is no, um, we can have a lot of back and forth discussion with you just doing a simple like pencil or sketch or whatever without any anything filled in, and I'll like I said I'll send you like young I might not let me not hold on 1 second. I just realized when I'm about to look up I may not want to actually have on stream. Open an existing, open recent, let me do that. do, 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 do. Oh, it didn't sync. God. Sorry, I did something last night. I hate when my things don't sync the way they're supposed to. I wrote something on my phone. And it's supposed to sync to the file here, but it looks like it didn't. Maybe I need to open it directly from here. Let's see. Stonehaven, Son of River. Okay, it's right here. Let's see. Conflicts, of course. Yep, here it is. Okay. Oh, this happens every time. Oh no. Oh shit. Why did I delete it? Oh god. Oh my god. Well. Oh no, it stayed here. Okay. I was like, oh my god, I just deleted it. Okay, never mind. I mean, I'm stressing out over this, like, literally 2 sentences that I wrote last night before I went to bed. So it's not that big a deal. But anyway. I'm going to switch to this because just in case what I'm about to look up is not stream friendly. You never know what Google's going to show you, right? Save image to downloads. actually, I lied. He's not bald. The men have keep their hair, the women shave their head. So he would actually have long hair. So I take back what I said before. He would actually have a full head of hair. I'm remembering what I said about the gender differences. Maybe he's closer to it. Exactly, hide the nudes. I'm just looking up like young Native American boys, and I really was like, oh, I don't know what Google's actually going to show me when I type that. That it might not actually be appropriate. So let's just not show that on stream. Yeah. Oh, you see, okay, now this is what okay, let me save this image and then let me show you in terms of how this was painted. This is like exactly what I'm looking for. Hold on one second. This is like perfect example. Let's move this over here onto the main window. Let me get rid of what I'm showing here in the background. Okay, and let's switch this over. Like this. I mean, it's an actual picture of a painting in a frame, but you see how it like you can definitely see that that's been painted. That it's an actual painting. So I'm thinking something like this, and this would probably be like his facial position in like maybe the second or even the third book, where he would be turning slightly. So for the first one, I'd want him to be like head on, but the way the background has like those dark painting strokes like that, and the way he actually looks like he's literally been painted on canvas. So that is what I'm looking for. And like that skin color, like that, really, this is really like the best example I could probably get of what I'm looking for the cover. But I don't need to see like from his shoulders down, like I don't need to see all of that really, because I want his face to be front and center. Like getting him from like maybe like this far down on him, and then just having the rest like kind of fade away, like almost like paint dripping down would be fine towards like where my name would be down here. Like if his shoulders came, I'm pointing at it like you can see what I'm pointing at. Like if his shoulders came down here, and then the rest of it was just like my name underneath. Yeah, for sure, I will send you that. I will email it to you. Let me just do that over here. I don't want to go there. Alright, I've got an email opened up here, so I will put a couple of things in my email, and I'll send you that. And I've got like two other examples of like face, of like what the face should look like, and yeah. I mean, even the face of this one kind of hits right. Okay, why did it show so many things open? Like this would probably be like his more closer to his age again in like the second or third book, because he looks almost like he's over 18, maybe between the ages of 18 and 20. In the first book he's 15. In the second book he will be around like 17, 18. In the third book he's going to be again aged up a bit to about like 1920, and then in the fourth book he'll be like whatever's over the age of 20, because I'm not really aging him up that much. The entirety of the book he'll probably age about 6 years, but being with the stress and the everything that he goes through in those 6 years, it will show a lot of wear and tear on his face. So it's not like he's gonna look exactly the same from book 1 to book 4. He will look very different. Oh, I open shrink that. Where did my You're worried? No. I mean, you know me, right? You know I don't do happy endings. So, maybe you're right to be worried because I don't do happy endings. It's been so long since we've worked together, Sketch. Oh wait, one of these is not. Oh, I have to convert this one. File, export. Save. Okay, so let me take these and upload. Okay, and send. Okay, I think I just sent it to you. Might be a few minutes before you get it. I sent you 3 images. So the one that's the painting, and then 2 that are actual real faces. He does have a name. His name is Son of River. It's called the Son of River series. Now that's his name in the first book. He will have a name that he chooses because I don't need to wear my headphones. In my series, let me just give you a little bit of background. So this is about 2 Native American tribes, or 2 native tribal groups. They're not Native American, but I'm basing them a lot of the background, a lot of the story, a lot of the history on it. So I did a lot of research on native tribes and stuff like that, but I put a lot of my own spin on a lot of the stuff. So one of the things that is unique about this tribe is when you're born, if you're a girl, you will be named daughter of whatever your mother's name is, and if you're a boy, then your name at birth is son of and whatever your father's name is. So in this instance, his name is Son of River, and you keep that name, and that is your name for the first 16 years of your life. And then when you turn 16, there's what's called the ceremony of choosing. And at the ceremony of choosing, they gather up all the kids who have turned like 16 in that year. So it's not on your actual birth date. It's once a year they do this ceremony of choosing, and anyone who has turned 16 from the last ceremony to the present one is then brought together, and in front of the elders of the tribe and the shaman, you are then asked, what is your name? And you get to name yourself. You have, the belief is you've lived in your own body and you've experienced things in those 16 years, so no one but you would better know what you should be called. So at the ceremony of choosing, you speak your name aloud, and then from that moment forward, that is what you are called. So in the second book, he will no longer be known as Son of River. He will be known as whatever name he chooses, because in the second book, he will participate in the ceremony of choosing, but he will participate in that not in his own tribe, in the enemy tribe, because at the end of the first book he gets kidnapped by the enemy tribe. So in the first book he is just Son of River, and his father unfortunately died before he reached the age of 1 year old. So Son of River doesn't even know who his father is. But he has to live up to what everyone tells him about his father, because his father was well known, well liked, well respected. And so it's a lot, it's a big load to carry, and big shoes to fill for a man that he doesn't even know, because unfortunately his father died before he could get to know him. But he is named, technically after his father, because his name is Son of River. And in this tribe, men are subservient to the women, meaning that the women are the leaders. So there are 5 elders, all of them are women. The chief is always a woman. The hunters and the warriors, all women. Women do all of those things. The only things that the men do is they are the gatherers and the laborers, which means when the warriors go off to fight, for whatever reason, the men are brought along to carry the weapons and to carry back anyone who gets injured or anyone who dies in battle. That's all that the men are there for. When the hunters go off to hunt and kill beasts and animals and things that they need in order to eat and survive, the men are brought along again to carry the dead animals that the women kill, and like to carry any wood, or they're literally, the men are used for their size, and that's it. They don't do any fighting, they don't do any hunting, and they don't make any decisions within the tribe. Okay, so his father was if I'm not mistaken, his father was a laborer, and so he's expected to be one as well, to follow in his father's footsteps. And what was I about to say? In the other tribe, right? Because there are two. What happens is the main tribe, which is the Taikor tribe, they were one tribe, and their whole mission and purpose in life is to protect this treasure that was supposedly left behind during the Great Dragon War. The dragons had a large sum of money, and so the Great Dragon War happened. Apparently all the dragons got wiped out of existence, and this tribe believes it is their solemn duty to protect this treasure until the dragons return. They believe that their god, Zoldair, is going to bring back the dragons, and when they do, then they will be in good standing and in good favor with the dragons, because they will have protected this treasure all of this time. Now, what happens is, because of the hierarchy where the women are on top and the men are on the bottom, over time there becomes a little bit of a rift. And so there's a separation. And long time ago, before my main character was born and all of these things, some of the members of the original tribe decided to defect and separate and leave and abandon their original tribe to start their own traditions and their own beliefs that are different and separate from the original tribe. So the other tribe are the complete opposite. Men can become warriors and hunters. The men can be the leader of the tribe. There are a lot of differences that happen when they switch over and they decide to do their own traditions and beliefs and stuff like that, that are a stark contrast to the original tribe. However, the original tribe is still in possession of and protecting this treasure, and so again, over time, the other tribe, the enemy tribe known as Varys, believe that they should be the ones who look after the treasure, and they know what's best to do with it. So now they're fighting each other to decide who has the, who should be the ones to basically be in possession of this treasure. And amongst all of that, you've got the villain. And I'm thinking that I want to actually do character portraits of certain characters in the story, because they are very distinct, and I hate to just have a depiction of the boy, of Son of River, and of nobody else, because everybody else is very important. For instance, there's a shaman, and in this tribe and in the other one, the shaman is a goblin. Okay, and in my mind, I'm already thinking how this would work, where in the foreground you would have what they look like as a human, and then in the background, almost like a shadowy figure hovering over them, you would have what their other looks like, because the goblin doesn't always look like that. The goblin, he only changes during a half moon. So whenever there's a half moon, he undergoes a transformation and looks like his true self, which is a goblin. But it doesn't happen very often, like maybe a third of the days of the year he will actually transform into a goblin. Otherwise, he spends most of his time looking human like anybody else. But he does have a distinct feature on him that would let you know that you're speaking to a goblin, because you wouldn't otherwise know if you didn't know to look for that mark. But anyway, so you have Tox, who's a goblin, right? And then you have the villain, who is a I'm already forgetting the name, who is a skinwalker. Now, skinwalkers sketch, you might actually love getting the opportunity to draw that, which is why I'm saying I almost hate not illustrating or not wanting to like hire an illustrator to do these other people, because they are just so interesting. You know, the human and then looking like a goblin, and then there's the chief, the current chief. Her name is Chief Mercy, which is ironic because she's the villain of the story, who is in reality a skinwalker, which is something that is well known and well documented within a lot of native tribes in real life. Yeah, skinwalkers are believed to be real things by a lot of Native American tribes. So let me show you what a skinwalker looks like. It's truly like the creepiest thing you've ever seen. So here is the left would be what they would look like in their human form, and then on the right would be what they would transform into, which is known as a skinwalker. Okay, and like I said, they are believed to be real. Native tribes believe that these things really exist, and they are real in their world. So so my villain looks like this. She turns into this every so often. And so a skinwalker, you're not born a skinwalker. You actually must perform a trial in order to become a skinwalker. And the only way you can do it, which is actually just really a really horrible thing. So if you are squeamish, you might not want to hear this part, but you have to kill an immediate blood relation. And when I say immediate, I mean it has to be a mother, father, sister, brother. So you can't, if you and you have to kill them and drink their blood. And then you have to say some thing like a incantation, a chant, if you will. And then what will happen is your body will start to like vibrate, and you have to think about what beast you want to turn into, and then that will be your skinwalker appearance. You will become that beast, but in like super evil badass form. So if you pick, like, let's say a tiger, right, you will become a tiger that stands on two legs and has like long claws, and but you'll have some of the features of a tiger, but it will just be a really ugly, gross looking kind of thing. And usually you'll know, there's different ways to find out if someone is a skinwalker. They try to hide it, obviously, because, and there's only certain ways to kill a skinwalker. Not everyone knows how. A lot of people know that they exist in this world, and but only very few of them know how to, and know how to mix the potion that's needed in order to give it to the skinwalker to kill it immediately. Which is what you'd want to do. There is no such thing as a good skinwalker. They are the very epitome of evil incarnate in itself. Like, bad. Skinwalkers are like capital B bad. But anyway, so the main character, or not the main character, but the villain, the main villain is we'll discover is a skinwalker. And her beast, the animal that she turns into, is actually a wildebeest, which is, again, something else that I've actually taken the concept of a wildebeest, which is a real animal in the real world, but I've kind of beefed it up a bit because usually Native Americans will ride on horses. That's that's the stereotypical like cowboys and Indians where they ride on horses and stuff like that. But because my two native tribes live on very steep, tall mountains, they each inhabit one half of the same mountain that was actually split and separated during the Great War, but that's another story. Um, Horses can't run up and down this mountain. There's no way. I could make it that they do, but I don't want to alter too much what a horse looks like and what a horse can do because people know horses, but very few people will know what a wildebeest is unless they take the time to look it up. So instead, I'm taking a wildebeest, making them 2 times as large as they normally would be in real life, and giving them the ability to run and basically be able to scale a very steep mountain in a quick amount of time. So these tribes, they ride on the back of wildebeests, not on the back of horses, um, which I enjoy as well. But there are so many characters. Like I have a character whose name is Leafandra. Her name is Leaf for short, and she's a pixie, but she's a human-sized pixie, and she's hiding and she's on the run and she's like a fugitive. And so it would be so great again to show her hiding all of her pixie features, because pixies is not like they can hide. What they have to hide basically are their ears and their wings. Okay, so it would be cool to show how she would look to any human who wouldn't know that she's a pixie, because she wears her hair long, hiding her ears. She keeps her wings covered all the time, and then in the background show her in her true pixie state. You know what I mean? So I feel like it would just be um, so terrible to just illustrate the boy who's just a boy when I've got, Chief Mercy, who's a skinwalker. I've got Leafandra, who's a pixie, and I've got Tox, who's a goblin. I mean, and then in the other tribe, I have a female goblin. So she would be, but we don't meet her until the second book. Because we're in one tribe in the first book, and then we're in the other tribe in the second book. Then the third or fourth book, we're in other places, but I don't want to even think about those right now. I'm just really focused on the first book at the moment. But they were just, I have a lot of these creatures, and I just added Wolverines last night because I was watching a Wild Russia with my wife. It's a documentary series where Russia has lifted the Iron Curtain, basically, so they allowed camera crew to go into these unseen areas and look at all of these animals and how they exist together in this habitat. And one of the dozens of animals that they talked about was the Wolverine. And when I saw it, I was like, oh, that would be an amazing pet for the evil villain. So her pet is going to be a Wolverine. And they are just so cool looking that it just, because I had wanted to give her a pet. And of course I type Wolverine and it's going to show me actual Wolverine, but I want to see the animal. So this is what a Wolverine looks like. And I just think it's just the perfect animal for a villain to have, because every villain's got a pet, right? They've got some sort of cat or a big dog or something. So I'm thinking, this is fantasy. I don't want her to have the usual type of animal. I want to give her something, again, that not many people would know exists or know what it looks like, so that I can transform it into anything that I really want, right? I mean, it could look really cute. I mean, look at that cute face, but this sucker will rip you to shreds, okay? But yeah, so my villain is going to have a pet Wolverine, which is it's going to be a lot bigger than the average Wolverine. The average Wolverine will grow will grow to like maybe 35 pounds for a male Wolverine. Female will probably be about 25, 30 pounds, which is nothing. I want to, part of me wants to double that, okay? So I want the Wolverine to almost be the size of a bear. Not as heavy as a bear, because some bears can go as much as like 900 pounds. I'm not talking that crazy. But I'm thinking, more like a 60 to 80 pounder. And it would just be so cool. I mean, part of me just wants I wish I could just illustrate all of this, because it really is. This is one of those books where I'm gonna make sure, or I'm gonna have to be as descriptive as possible, because there's gonna be color, and there's gonna be, all of these creatures. They're in the mountains, and they're in the forest, so they're surrounded by forestry. They do have a nearby village and stuff, but for the most part, I've got to think of real and made up creatures that are just going to be, like I'm going to have owls in here, because I was, again, in that documentary that I was watching of Russia. They have owls that are 2 feet tall. Can you imagine? I can't imagine it. Like in real life, there are real owls that are 2 feet tall. It's just mind boggling to me. So I need to add, so I've been making like a little animal list of the kind of wildlife that I want to include that would be both known and a mystery to the reader, so that, because I don't want them to say, wait a minute. I know, what a tiger can do, and tigers don't look like that. So I'm not going to put lions and tigers and bears, but I think I can get away with putting things like a wildebeest and a wolverine and, these kinds of things in there, where the reader won't necessarily know. It'll make them look it up, and then they'll be even more fascinated by it. Something else that I'm adding, but not until later, like in book 3, possibly even book 4, is Wendigos. And the Wendigo is going to be something that my villain is actually going to conjure up. Wendigos are not human. They don't exist in this plane. They actually must be raised up by a powerful, evil person. Only a skinwalker can raise Wendigos. And so she is going to actually raise an army of Wendigos, and that's going to be kind of like the final showdown, either at the end of book 3 or the beginning of book 4. But again, those are going to be like so interesting to illustrate, because Wendigos kind of look like, they kind of look a little bit like skinwalkers, but again, they're not human. They are literally made up of nothing but bones. So they're raised, you have to raise them within a burial ground, because what happens is bones from other people and other animals that are around will kind of pull themselves in and then form into an actual standing thing, and they can manipulate. I'm going to make it that the bones will actually shift while the Wendigo is moving, so that if it needs to be on 4 legs instead of on 2, it will shift within seconds and be able to turn more into an animal than into a standing human. And so the bones will snap, and they'll move and shift while the Wendigo is moving. So there is absolutely no skin on a Wendigo. It's all bones. And they're raised, and again, like, it's only a skinwalker can actually raise up Wendigos, and yeah, those skinwalkers, man. I am excited, because she's gonna have an army of skinwalkers. She's gonna pull together some people, convert them, have them go undergo the ritual to become a skinwalker. So she's not going to be the only one, but she's going to be the leader, the lead skinwalker of the other skinwalkers. And so what happens is the way we know that she's the villain is at the end of book 1, she kills our main character's sister in front of him. because she realizes during there's what's called the trials, and during the trials, that's when, and this happens every 7 years, that's when it's decided who is going to be the next chief of the tribe. And so what would typically happen is, or what's supposed to happen is, a woman wins the trial, she becomes the chief, and after about maybe two or three cycles, she will then bow out of the trials because she realizes that she's reached a certain age and it's time for her to step down and give a younger generation the opportunity to lead the tribe. And so, but she has the opportunity to participate in the trials, and she can participate, and if she wins, then she becomes the chief for another 7 years. Now, obviously, this woman being a villain, she doesn't want to give up her position as the leader of the tribe. So she is now in her third trial, meaning or actually in her fourth trial, meaning she's been chief for 21 years now, and she's looking to do another 7 to be the tribe leader for 28, which is near to unheard of in the history of the existence of this tribe. Like, that doesn't happen. And so because she knows that she's getting on in years, that she's likely not going to get the best scoring during the trials that she would have long time ago. So she's got spies out spying on who's going to be participating and who her biggest competition is. And of course, her biggest competition is our main character's sister, who is daughter of Serene. So their mother's name is Serene. So his sister, when she was born, is called daughter of Serene. And what happens is she ends up winning. The trials end, and it's obvious to everyone that she is the winner. But because of everything that's been going down during the first half of the book, the chief asks the shaman to change tradition and not announce at that moment who the winner is. That she wants to throw a party to it's kind of like a farewell party, a party for everyone because everyone's been down. An elder recently died of old age. There's been many attacks by the enemy on their tribe, and they've lost several of their members. So morale is down. So she says to him, wait and announce the winner at the party. And he agrees. Okay, so at the party, the chief, takes daughter of Serene aside to kind of talk to her. And while she does that and no one is watching, she basically kills her. And then the boy, son of River, who witnesses it, screams, brings everyone to the front and center. And this is when I kind of steal a little bit from The Lion King, in that moment where Simba comes out of the shadows and his father is dead because he was in that stampede, and then Scar comes out and says to him, everyone's gonna blame you for what happened, so run away and never return, right? That scene. So this is kind of like a similar scene where he points the finger at the chief and says, she killed my sister, and everyone is looking at him like, why is this boy blaming our chief? Like, she would never do that, right? They're not going to believe that right off the jump. And the chief says, clearly he's, he's not in his right mind. What actually happened is someone from the other tribe infiltrated our party, tried to attack me. The girl got in the way, and she ended up being killed instead of me. She sacrificed her life to save me, trying to make this whole big thing. And one of his friends, called Son of Oak, sees what's happening here, that this boy is going to be in big trouble. So he turns to him and basically says the same thing that Scar says to Simba, which is, you got to run. Like, but in the instance of Scar to Simba, like, that he's obviously doing an evil thing when he says that. In this instance, though, it's kind of trying to save this boy's life when Son of Oak says to him, you need to run, and he does. So this is what leads us into the end of the book. He runs, and he literally first he runs into the pixie, Leafandra, and then he ends up getting kidnapped by the other tribe, and the book ends with him in the clutches of what he considers to be the enemy, but he learns that actually is not the case. in the second book, and he realizes that something is up, and that what's up is that there is something seriously evil and sinister about their chief. And so, again, taking a little bit from the Lion King, where he ends up with Timon and Pumbaa, and he grows up into being a man, and he learns how to fend for himself and stand on his own 2 feet. When he's with this other tribe, he's going to learn things that he would never be taught in his own tribe, which is he's going to learn how to fight. He's going to learn how to hunt. He's going to learn a lot of these things, again, that he would never have been taught in his own tribe. And then once he learns these things and he's strong enough and man enough, he will return to his tribe to enact revenge for his sister's death, by the chief, and do what must be done. So that's basically the first 2 books. Now, what happens in the second half, I can't go into in books 3 and 4, but that's the gist of the first 2 books, where, you know, these bad things happen. A lot of the adults, they realize that there is a skinwalker among them. Some of them believe that it is their chief, but because they don't have proof, they can't, you know, they can't just say you are a skinwalker. They need to have proof before they start doing shit like that. And so they're trying to get proof. This boy believes that he's seen that she is a skinwalker, and he's going to try and out her to the tribe so that they will believe him. You know, a lot of things are going to have to happen in the first 2 books. And I'm going to start writing, and I actually made a weekly graph for myself. So May 22nd, not May 22nd, sorry, May 16th is, not even, what am I saying? May 16th is, I think, a Sunday. So I'm going to start writing that Monday, May 17th. Which I think is next week, Monday, if I'm not mistaken, is when I am going to start writing the book. So I'm excited. I am excited. I already have all my charts and graphs and things to track my word count, that I write each hour, because I stream for 3 hours. So each hour I will do like maybe a 45-minute sprint and then a 15-minute break, and then I'll write down what my word count is for each hour, give myself a total, and then we'll go from there. I'm hoping to be able to write 28,000 words a week. And then, well, I'll let you, I'll give you access to be able to read it, because I am making it available to my patrons. So my patrons will be able to actually come where it says for patrons. If they come to the Son of River Quartet, right down here, they'll be able to read every time I write chapters at the end of a day. I'm going to come into my website and basically drop the chapters in down here. Right now you're able to see this because I'm in here as an admin, but if I wasn't signed in to my actual website, you wouldn't see this. You would be met with a message that says, like, you have to be a patron in order to access what is contained on this page. But yeah, I'm going to, and I actually have a bit of Easter eggs I forgot to mention in all 4 books. Yes, my vomit draft is that's what I call it, because it's the rough draft. It's crap. It's really not good. It's not edited. You know, I've just been writing it, right? So I call it my vomit draft. So I have some Easter eggs in that I decided last minute, well, not last minute, but I made the conscious decision that I wanted to, let me make this bigger, that I wanted to, instead of doing chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, which can be so boring, right? I mean, who wants that? I decided I wanted to name each chapter. And part of me, I wish, but you tell me what you think, Sketch, if this might be too much for you to do. I would love to have a little a little depiction of the chapter name, like above the chapter name. You know what I mean? So, but I feel like that might be too much, because it would just be black and white. It wouldn't be color. Like the cover would be in color, but the chapters would just be, it would just be black and white. Um, Basically, what books do that? Usually, I think like YA books would do it. So basically, the chapter name would be "Beware the Skinwalkers," right? So the image, so they would be like a little, like maybe 4 inches wide by like 3 inches high, like a little square. Okay, and in there would be almost like a comic strip image, like just a square image of depicting Beware the Skinwalkers. So maybe it would be like trees, and then poking out from the trees would be a skinwalker, like the silhouette or the shadow of a skinwalker, right? And that would be the image for the prologue chapter. And then the next one would be, women are warriors, men are not. I don't know how I would illustrate that, but I would have to think about like what each one would be. But I feel like that might be too much for me to do. The chapter names are not solidified. I literally just came up with these chapter names on the fly. But I am putting an Easter egg in here, because separate from the chapters that I have here, I am writing a poem. And the poem is basically called Beware the Skinwalkers, okay? And it's going to be a well-known chant or poem within all of the tribes. They all know it. And it's basically a warning of how to spot a skinwalker, how to protect yourself from a skinwalker, and how to kill a skinwalker. And what I want to do is that it's going to be maybe a 15 or 20 or 25 stanza poem, and each line is going to be a title or a heading of a chapter in all 4 books. And but they're going to be separated by other chapter headings. So unless you know that that's what's actually taking place, you would never know that I basically hid a poem in all 4 books that tells you basically all you need to know about a skinwalker. Is that too much of an Easter egg to put in there? Right now, the way I have it is, the title of the poem is the prologue, Beware the Skinwalkers. That's the name of the poem. And then it starts with, I think the next one is this one. Its claws are sharp as nails and walks on 2 legs. And so originally what I was doing is that each chapter that hints of the presence of a skinwalker or the sighting of one, that one, the title of it is connected to the poem. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it that way, because there isn't enough chapters where that happens. So I may have to take some poetic license, if you will, and put the chapter title as one that is so far and away removed from what actually happens in the chapter that it might end up confusing the reader. So that's why I'm torn as to whether or not I should even really do this Easter egg, even though I think it's a great idea. I'm just not sure how I would feasibly go about it, because in this instance, right, like the first chapter that brings it up again is its claws are sharp as nails, and then the one immediately after it, and then you don't have it again until down here where it's there's danger in these woods, a lone walker dances with death, its eyes can see you in the dark. Skinwalkers can be anyone. And so it's very random as to when they show up. And again, this isn't the final poem. I'm working on something that's better. I think I want to actually make it rhyme, because I think if it rhymes, people might pick up on that, because I am going to have in the beginning of the book all of the chapters listed. So if you were looking at the table of contents and just reading the chapters, you may be able to pick out that certain lines put together make a poem and they rhyme. Um, so I'm like I said, it's a work in progress to make it work. But I think at the end, if I'm able to do it across all 4 books, where if you put these chapter headings, stack them up, they'll make a poem, and it'll be really cool. Because it'll be a poem about skinwalkers and how to defend yourself against them. Yeah, I think it could be too. I think though trying to do an illustration for each chapter heading might be a bit much. I think that would be something I might be willing to do in like a special edition. Like let's say after I release this in paperback and in ebook, it does very well because I know what a lot of indie authors have been doing lately is they'll release it as a paperback and an ebook, and depending on how many sales they get, then they will make a Kickstarter, and the Kickstarter will be to release those books in hardback form with like a fancy jacket and all these things. So I think if I were to do that, if it would get to a point where I knew I had enough readers, like 100 or 200 readers, that I would feel it would be worth it to then, then I would hire you, Sketch, to or someone else, I don't know, to do a tiny illustration for each chapter heading. And that would be a new special cool thing that I would do for the hardcover books that you wouldn't get in the paperback or the ebook. That it would be exclusive to hardcover. Because I've never done hardcover before, and I think I would love the opportunity to do that. But I wouldn't want to do it the regular way of just going via Barnes and Noble or something like that. Like I'd want to actually go to a printer, and that would require a decent amount of money, which would require me to actually do a Kickstarter, which I've never done before. So this might be the series that propels me to that point where I'm going to be doing a Kickstarter, because a lot of people will read it and like it, I hope. Fingers crossed. But yeah. So that's what I've been working on. How are you on maps? Not that I want to give you something else to do, which I don't really need it, because I'm actually using a program. Oh my god, I wish this thing didn't do this. Did I change this recently? I must have. Yeah, I'm actually testing out 2 different programs, map creating programs, WonderDraft and Incarnate. And I'm basically replicating this map that's up here that I did in Photoshop horribly. And I'm trying to replicate each of them using the actual map to see how it goes. And then I'm going to ask people to vote. This isn't the final map. This is just stage 1. So I'm actually going to take the next step of like putting in trees and mountains and all of these things. But this is basically the map for this series. This is as far or as wide as I need the map to go, because we're not really traveling very far. I mean, the 2 warring tribes are on the mountains, which is these brown smudges here. So on the left is the Taikor tribe, the original tribe. On the right is the Varus tribe. Originally, these 2 mountains that are now separated by this light brown bit was once one mountain, but during the Great Dragon War, the mountain literally divided itself, or was split down the middle, and then both mountains shifted apart from each other, creating this wide chasm, which is known as the Kinnaman Split. The mountain was originally called Kinnaman Mountain, which people who don't live on the mountain still call it that. So people in the surrounding villages and areas still consider them to be the Kinnaman Mountains, and then the part in the middle is the Kinnaman Split. but the tribes who live on it name it after the name of their tribe. So the tribe on the left calls it the Tycor Mountain, and the tribe on the right call it the Varus Mountain. The blue bit is a creek, which is called uh, is it called Moaning? I feel like Moaning isn't right. Let me just check that. Yes, it's called Moaning Creek. And so basically it's believed to be the sound of the dead moaning. Like that's why the creek moans is because but anyway, I won't go into that. But it's called Moaning Creek, and this gray bit here is the village. Um, I believe it's called Hartmeyer. I'm still getting used to these names that I came up with because I literally just came up with them like maybe a week ago or 2 weeks ago. But Hartmeyer is the name of this town here. The red mark is the marketplace, which is in the center of town. Also located within this area here is a tavern known as the Iron Rope Inn, which is the largest tavern found in any of these four kingdoms here: Praetor, Nightthorn, Ebonthorn, and Malathorn. The largest tavern is called the Iron Rope Inn, which I love because it basically has a stage. So there are like almost like can dancers or strip women who strip down to their skivvies and give entertainment to the drunk men. And there's also a place for you to stay there. So they have, that's why it's called the Iron Rope Inn, because they also have rooms above the tavern part where you can pay and sleep or do whatever up there. The green bit is the Eternal Forest, which, if you recall, I actually have the second book of my first series, the Fifth Compass series, is actually called the Eternal Forest. So that is here. And it's this green bit right here, and it is important to the story because of how close it happens to be to the mountain, to the village. The purple bit doesn't play a big role until, like, again, books 3 and 4, but that's where the castle of the king and the ruling people of Ebonthorn is here in this purple area here. I just wanted to designate so I knew where it was, but this person is not going to play a role in the story until they have confirmation that they know where the treasure is, and that's when this king is going to make his presence very well known, because he's going to want to get his hands on it, because people have heard rumor of the existence of this treasure, but no one believes it. And so what's going to happen is eventually the villain is going to show proof to the king that there is treasure there, and she knows where it is, in the hopes that he will be a diversion that she needs in order to do what she needs to do, which is to destroy the other tribe. So by bringing in a third party into the mix here of, fighting and warring and all that stuff, that's when she's going to rise up the Wendigos, and shit's gonna get real fast. I was originally gonna have vampires, but then I figured people know vampires, and I don't know if I want to put vampires in my fantasy. That vampires to me don't seem very fantasy-ish, so I decided to go with Wendigos instead, and I think that works better. I think they're gonna be creepier and more nightmarish than the not so creepy vampire situation. So I think I made a good call there, to have Wendigos. You tell me. I don't know. I have to head off to the bathroom. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Um, I've decided what I'm going to do right now. I don't think that's where. Oh my god, what is happening? Why does it say no maps yet? Oh, don't even tell me that. Oh, right. Okay, hold on. I have to use Chrome or Firefox because apparently it's not compatible with Safari. Alright, let's try this again. That's not a bad. Okay. Now, here's the part. I'm confused. All of these aren't free. Look at those little assets. How do I increase? Oh, right here. Oh, I have to increase the size before I stamp it. Well, thank you. Let's undo that then. Because this mountain's got to be big. You know what? Do they have like a flat mountain that's not so peakish? Like this. I like this one. Whoa, that's too big. Alright. Can I rotate it too? I need to be able to rotate this. Ah, oh no, not rotate it like that. What in the holy... Bonanzas. No. Oh, randomized rotation. No. Flip. No. Why does it look... Oh, because this was moved. Stay there. What is this? Opacity. Oh, they've got it looking different here. Hold on. Let's see. No. See, I want it to look like, right. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I'm gonna have to just stick with how it looks, and then I'm just gonna flip it. Okay, so let's put this... How big did I have it? I feel like it's taking up too much space. I mean, this too much. Let's shrink it a little bit more. You know what I need? I need to have my image before I, hold on, I need to open up that other thing. If I know where it is, and I think I do. Apps. I think it's this one. Yeah. I kind of do have it going all the way across, so maybe it's not too big. Alright, so I need to be looking at this little thing here. Sorry, I'm gonna have to put it behind my face. Okay, let's come back here now. And it's gotta be like down here, like this. But there's a bit of a gap. Can I just rotate this slightly like that? Yeah, boom, right here. Like this. There's a bit of a gap right there. And now I want to put the same one, but flip it thusly, and then I want to rotate it back the other way. I think like that, and then this one's gonna go right here on this side with a bit of a gap. And boom. So this part down the middle is the Kinnaman split. The left is the Taikor tribe, the right is the Varish tribe. Sweet. Okay. Now, what am I looking for now? Look at all these kinds of... This is what keeps you here forever, okay? Ah, okay, so I like this one for the town. Hook me up. Okay, so we're gonna put the town a little smaller, please. It's gonna be like right here. Oh, it's gonna let me like rotate it or make it bigger. No, we can just leave it the way it was. I do want, I wonder, there's no tavern. Maybe it's not called a tavern? What would it be called? Snap. Hook me up with a ship, 'cause you know. An inn? I'm gonna try that. Just give me a second, because I'm about to put a ship up in her. I'm about to put one right there, just because I can. I'm having too much fun. Okay. Let me try. Oh, spelled that wrong. In. Oh, I think you might have hit on something there. I like this one because it's like 2 stories. Because I said it's big, right? This one is kind of big too. Let's go with this one. It's a big old sucker. Success. Well, that's the water. This is the water around the thing, right? So I put it in the water. Okay, so I need to put, I almost want to keep it that size. Does that seem a bit gaudy? That might be a bit much. But I am not going to put it over there. I'm going to put it, it has to be near the water, just because. But I want to turn it a bit so that it's like that. Does that look right? That doesn't look right. Ah, okay, I think I like that better. The inn in the water. I'm not putting the inn in the water. I'm putting the inn near the water. I might have to move where the heck I put the name Ebenthorn is what the issue is. Because I do want it near the marketplace. Alright, we're gonna have to move the name. The name's gonna have to move. Because I'm putting it. It's coming in for a crash landing. Around. That's. I'm running into a conundrum. That's going really far. And I really can't risk traveling that far. So we're gonna have to put it over here. I hate to put it that close to the mountain, but I might have to move these mountains up a bit. Like there, and then I'm gonna have to move this one up a bit to match it. Right there. Okay. Because the creek's gotta go here as soon as I figure out how to put a creek. Which I don't really know how. But let's go back to the stamp tool for a minute. I mean, it would be too easy if I was able to just do that. So I need Look at these. I'm just adding. So this is the one that I did, and then these are the ones that's HD, high def. Look at that. I feel like I almost like this one better than that one. No, that's alright. I'm gonna stick with what I had. So let's look for town. Let's see what kind of towns I got when I added those extra bits. Okay, town 3 is the one that I was using. Human town, whatever that means. The buildings aren't exactly the same color, but I want to add a marketplace, or the symbol of a marketplace. So let's just go with this one, because the market, I'm going to have to move the town, shockingly. I want the market to be right near the right near the tavern. I also need to figure out how I'm gonna write the names. I need to write the name. Am I doing these too big? Maybe not. I'm gonna zoom the map out and see. So let's put the marketplace like over here. Let's move the town. I've got everything like right on top of each other. I feel like that's not conducive to No, I don't like that at all. Let's switch. Too big. Curvature. Oh, I see what you mean by curvature. No, let's not do that. Put it back to 0. I'm just gonna put this right here and just shift some things around, because this whole town here is Hartmeyer, so let's just move some things about. Oh snap. Oh, this is why you're supposed to do things first before you do this. What did I completely leave out right now? Oh my god. Okay. Everything's got to shift to the left. Because I just forgot the most important. Okay, let's move this over. Everything's got to shift. Like everything. Okay, come on. You can do it. This is why I think I might have done these things a bit too big. I need trees. I need trees. Actually, can you give me an entire forest instead? No. Oh god, what did I write? Trees. Okay. A tree home? No. This is not. No. Who? I don't know who that is. Parchment World. No. These are my only tree options? I mean, no, yeah, it's just a way for me to know where one kingdom starts and the next one, where one kingdom ends and the next one begins. They're not actually, I mean, I guess I'm gonna have to go with these kinds of trees. Just really small. Okay, and can I zoom in a bit? Because I forgot the Eternal Forest. Which is like dumb on my part because yeah, it's just a large grouping of trees here, so I've just got to put a bunch of different kinds of trees, which is what I'm gonna do. I kind of want to make it a bit bigger though, but not too much. But the Eternal Forest is like right here. I don't know if I like that it's giving me random trees every click. Perfect. Boom. Eternal Forest. And now I need to write that. Can I put that stacked? Yes, I can. I can. Right about there. Looks good enough to me. How's that? also need to write iron rope in. I'm wondering if I should do the thing that most maps do where they put numbers and then they have a legend on the left with the numbers and then the name of what the thing is, right? Isn't that what they normally do? I feel like that's what I should do. Let's do that, because otherwise I'm just going to have a grouping of things. So let me decide what number. This is why I have a pen and paper. This is why I have a pen and paper. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because we need to do the mountains first. So the left mountain will be 1, and that will be Tycor. And then we'll do 2 will be the Kinnaman Split in the middle, and then 3 will be the Varus Mountain, and then we'll come down to 4. I'll make it the town in Hartmeyer, and then 5 will be the marketplace, and then 6 will be the iron rope in, and then 7 will be the eternal forest. What else do I need to add? Well, I need to add the freaking creek. How do I add a creek? I need to take this thing and like shift it this way. Yeah, no, see, that's not it. Maybe it's this way? I'm not sure which. Oh, I see what you're saying. The stroke. No. Leave the stroke black. Holy Moses. I was trying to figure out what the hell the color was going to be that I lay down. Let me shrink this down and just see what happens. Yep, no. Okay, undo that. I don't know how to add water. Or maybe I need to subtract instead of add. Let's try that. Maybe if I take land away. Oh, okay. That's what I'm looking for. So let's undo it and make it better. I might need to zoom in a bit more so I can see what the hell I'm doing and how far this creek is going. Okay, so let's make it a bit bigger. This is a creek, so we need to have a bit of depth here. Okay, here we go. 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready, 4 to go. Alright, do 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 do. We're gonna go around the eternal forest, and we're gonna come around here. Something like that. Something like that. You think that's too thick? Nah, because we're gonna zoom back out. Zoom back out. Okay, there we go. There's my crick. So I need to put that as a number. I'll put that as number 8. Moaning Creek. Now what else am I missing? The castle. Number 9 will be should I just put the castle? That seems so vague. Hello, Video Garver. Yes, this is Incarnate. I'm testing out 2 map creating programs. I got this though. Okay. Oh yeah, I see that truck. I'm testing out this one and Wonderdraft, and then I'm going to, at the end, once I recreate the map in both map programs, decide which one I find the easiest to use and work with. Sorry. Just trying to push my chair under my desk. Yeah, I like the one plus that I like about Wonderdraft is that it's a separate program that is not online based, and I prefer programs that I download rather than programs where I go on the website. I know there are people who prefer to be able to just go on a website because it means you can literally access the thing anywhere, but it uses up a lot of bandwidth when you have to use the internet. Like for instance, for Incarnate, I can't use Safari. I have to use either Chrome or Firefox, neither of which I enjoy using, but now it forces me to have one of these programs on my computer in order to use it properly, and I don't like that. So, you know, there are negatives, there are positives. Why is this not saved yet? Let's save. I've done so much, I don't want to lose it. You would think it would autosave though. After 87 changes, I mean, seriously. So, you know, that's one of the negatives. Also, the black and white situation. I don't like that it's not a simple toggle key where I can make a black and white map, which is what I want. I don't want a color map. But again, Incarnate is kind of forcing my hand here in that I have to go with a color map, because it's not as simple as just saying I want to make a black and white map in order to do so, where it is simple in Wonderdraft. However, Wonderdraft looks like I'm working from a program that was created in 1980 and never had an update ever. I know, but I'd rather see it in grayscale here rather than save it, convert it to grayscale, find out that the trees I used or the mountain I used or the whatever I used, I should have used another one which would have come out in a better black and white version than the one that I had, in which case I'd have to go all the way back to the original program, make those changes, export it again, convert it and switch it to grayscale. And you know what I mean? Like, I want to be able to work from the black and white originally in that program, rather than having to jump back and forth to get it the way that I want. That's not to say that that having a color map isn't a great thing. It's just, for me personally, if I want to put this map in my book, which I'm hoping that I can and that I will, I need it to be in black and white, and I need it to look perfect in black and white, and I don't need to be spending, unnecessary hours, because the only way I can show an incarnate map in black and white is to export it, switch it to grayscale, and cross my fingers and hope that it's going to look good. Whereas Wonderdraft allows me to start a map from scratch in black and white, and so it converts all of its assets and everything that I do into black and white, which is like perfect that I was able to do that in just one click, and then everything that I do from that point forward is black and white. It's just ideal. Anyway, so now the issue becomes, where in the hootenanny am I putting my legend? Probably in the top right, because that's the most open space we've got going right now. I could do the bottom right, because I've got a bit of open space there too. And that's usually where you'd find the legend, in the bottom, not in the top. So let's do the bottom right. Let's do the bottom right. But do I need to do a stamp tool in order to get a thing that I'm looking for? Probably. I just need to find out what they're calling it. They might be calling it just decoration. Why aren't you actually showing it? It's here somewhere. I just saw it. Yeah, it is. Now that's interesting. If I could put that in the mountain, but I know I probably couldn't. I'm looking for, oh, here we go. Title plate, or legend. They actually call it legend. Duh. I should have known that. So let's actually shrink everything back and type in legend. Oh, hey, let's do, let's just do the silver one, just because I don't want it to match too much like the, can I make it a bit bigger, because I've got a lot going on here. And let's just put it over here. It could just write the word legend for me. But that's fine. Let me now go back to text. Where in the hootenanny? I say that a lot, dude. Alright? I know all about them hootenannies, and you know about them too. We're going to do a nice little Son of River Key. There we go. I don't want an outline, please. I do want a different font, because can I get a spacing? Here we go. Let's separate this a bit. We're gonna have to make this a bit bigger. I'll tell you that right now. How's that? Oh, that's better. We We could actually go bigger. Go big or go home. That's what I always say. Let's stamp that. My little stamp of approval. Okay. Okay. I need to actually see an example of a map now because I'm forgetting how they look when they have a key. I know I've downloaded a map before. Somewhere. Over. Oh, is this it? Yeah, okay. I knew I downloaded maps at some point. Okay, see, so there's the key on the bottom right. They don't actually say it's a key. They just kind of do the numbers and the stuff because it's, I guess it's should be known that it's a key. So maybe, oh, 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 oh. Huh. Hold on. 1 cotton picking minute. See, that would be too big. Now, okay, okay. Hold the phone here. Oh yes, oh yes. So if I put this sucker right here, is that almost opaque? It isn't. Can I make it? I can. Okay. Hold the flippin' flippers. Okay. And now, my fine feathered friends. This is what I propose to do. So where's my key? Now, I've got 9 things on my key. So this might actually be too big, but that's okay. I'm just testing it, but let's do some stuff. So let's do 1 is Tycor Mountain. I can see that the typing is a bit too big. I also need to change. What is with this font stuff going on, people? Like, I need to keep it simple here. And these things are just too big. That's it. Yeah. Either this one or this one. All caps or no caps. Let's go with this one. You only live once. So let's see. If I put this here, that looks like a good size. I could probably go a bit smaller. So let's go down to 20. Yep, that looks good. We're going to go down to 20. So we're going to put you here. And then we're going to go to... Oh, no. What the holy hoolies? Oh, okay. 2... Why is it doing that? Okay. I figured it out. 2 Kinnaman split. I'm going to put you right about... there. This one, we can delete it. I think I figured out the conundrum here. Delete that. Go back to text. And then 3 is Varus Mountain. And I'm going to space them out a bit more. I just need to type them out. I wish it didn't do this thing to me here. Text is for I'm gonna make 4 marketplace. And then 5 iron rope in. Things are looking real shifty here, so let's bring some things closer together or further apart. How do we want to do this? I'm gonna have 8 things, so it's gonna be 4 there, and then these 4 over here. 5. Put this one right here. Make a 6. Eternal Forest. And then we're gonna do 7. We'll put it around here somewhere. 7 is Moaning Creek. And we're gonna do 8. Put it right here. 8, which is the castle, which I haven't put down there yet, but I will. So we can delete this. Unless I want to put it up here, like I can put it like here, but I don't think I need it, so let's just get rid of it. This I can shrink now, I think. How much can I shrink it though? Is the question. I could rotate it, can't I? So that it's standing up. Oh, how am I gonna make it? Oh, I just need to do 90. So that it's like this. Huh. And then I can put this over here. I'll move the ship. That's not a problem. Put the ship over here. And then I can actually take all of these now. Oh, I can move them all at once, can I? That doesn't really help me, but I'll put this group down here. And then I'll take these and put this group up here. I actually want to put this back to 100% now. I know it's not lined up. I'm gonna hopefully be able to do that in a second. I just want to move them all together. And then I'm gonna select all of them. As soon as I lock this one. Lock that. And then that way I should be able to do this. Beautiful. Does it have a thing? I don't see it. Maybe I'm wrong in what I thought I could do. want you to select all text. Stop it now. Okay. Oh, how do I unlock this? Oh, here it is. Okay. I'm going to shrink this again. Relock it, just temporarily here, so that I can move all of this over, like so. Unlock that, select all of this, group them together. Now I can move it all together at one time down here into the far corner, out of the way. Now I need to put the numbers by the things. Right. Let's do text. 1. I need to make it white so I can see it. We will add an outline this time. We will make it bigger. I think that's big enough. No, I need a legit outline there. Okay. So this would be 1. And then this would be 2. And this would be 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. And then I haven't put it here yet, but over here is going to be 8. Okay. I need to move some things around again. For instance, I don't like where this is. Okay, this should be like right over the creek here. Okay, everything else looks good. I would like to put a bit of a something here to designate this as a split. I wonder if I could do that with this. I just need to figure out what it would be called. Not a path. There's so many options to choose from. Let's see if I can scroll through all of this. A chasm? No, it's not a chasm. God rays. Oh, that's funny stuff. I wonder if I should make it a city instead of a town. Because why would this inn be in a city? I mean, be in a town instead of a city, right? That just, I don't know. I'll think about it. Depicting it as a city instead of a town. I need some sort of thing that symbolizes a patch. Ooh, a Viking boat. I wonder if they have any pirate ships. have to end my stream early and go downstairs to help my wife with something. I may have to. I love that they have Whirlpool because there actually is one here under Ebonthorn that I might put in. It's not in either of these stories. It's actually in my first original series, but it is right there. So I might actually put a Whirlpool there. It's called the Sea of Swirling Bones, and it's just a constant like whirlpool of like bones and carcasses and things of people who've got caught up in it. I'm thinking I might just use like these barren hills or something like that to depict the path there of the Kinnaman split. That is just a bunch of different moundy hills or hilly mounds, however you want to describe it. Are they still there? They are still there. We've got people here taking stuff for us, but they're not the best, so that's why I said I might have to go and assist my wife and get black on their asses, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with hills, but first I want to see if I have any actual like a pirate ship as opposed to just a regular. I think we've got some airships, but I don't see any that are saying it's a specific pirate ship. There's a lot of airships. That must be big in these here parts. Yeah, there's nothing here that's specific to pirates. I think they have a pack that I would just have to get. So let me do hills right now and find the one that I want, which I think is probably going to be like this one. Too big. Why does it open it like the biggest thing I've ever seen in my life? I might actually just be able to use, yeah, let's use that, and then let's rotate it like we would. And then can we, I might, you know what, let's see what this looks like. Hold on, let's make it smaller. Give me that one back. And then one more time. Right about there. Oh, wait. That one could be a bit bigger. Let's. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do 2 different kinds. So let's, or 3 different kinds. Let's delete this one, and then let's come back to here and give me that triple one that I want to put once I shrink it. Oh, that's still too big. It's still too big. Good lord. Come on. Okay, that's better. That is better. All right, let's zoom out. I'm gonna add the castle, and then I basically will be done with it, with using Incarnate to create a map, I would say. And then I would have to take this and like it was mentioned earlier, just convert it to grayscale to see what it would look like in grayscale. But let's move some things around, such as Ebonthorn is now too high up there. I'm gonna move it down to about here to give some breathing room. Let's add a castle real quick. I like this large castle right off the jump, I could tell you that. Let's go with that one. It's the first one I saw. It's the first one I'm gonna go with. I'll tell you it's too large. Let's shrink it down to like, that's a much more, it still might be a bit too big. That's much more manageable. Right here. Boom. And then I'm gonna move the 8 to be right like over it, like that. There we go. Let's save this. I think the spacing of the key is a bit off, so let's try to fix that before we export this, shall we? Let's just move in. Oh, I said I wanted to add that whirlpool here, right? Let's do that as well. Then I would have, yeah, I'm gonna do it because I'm gonna add more stuff to my keys. I need to see what the, so it's size 20. Okay, I just wanted to see the size before I did this. And I'm gonna do no outline. Did I put it? I don't think I did a shadow either. And I think the color was black. Right? And it goes about here. Did I not just put that down there? And it's gonna be 9. Sea of swirling bones. It might actually be too wide. Yeah, I'm gonna have to edit that down. next one. I'm putting it up here temporarily just because it's in my way. 10 is going to be pirate ship. Should I put pirate ship or silver blade ship? Oh no, I know. The Shadow. That's the actual name of the ship. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. Okay, so let's move these things out of the way for a second while I make some space for what I'm about to be adding. Nope, they're still here. Yeah, I have to go downstairs. This is getting ridiculous now. I just really want to finish this map because I'm so close, and then I'm gonna go to the other map probably on Monday, and I will do all that I've done today with this program on that one. But now as I'm doing this, I'm wondering if I should have done it all on one line. What would that look like? Okay, I'm gonna try it just because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is the castle, 9 swirling bones, 10 the shadow. I have to write this all down because I'm about to type it all up again. Because I feel like trying to line them up this way is a bad idea. So let's get rid of all of these. And let's come back to this one, put it up here, come over here and do 1 Tigor Mountain, 2 Kinnaman Split, 3 Barris Mountain, 4 Marketplace, 5. I'm gonna make it like this. I'm gonna move this down to here. For a second, I'm gonna put the line height like that. Okay, let's keep going. 5 is iron rope in. 6 is eternal forest. 7 is moaning creek. 8 is the castle. This thing is taking a long time to catch up to my typing. What's 9 again? Swirling bones. And then 10 is the shadow. is take all of this and move it down here. This is what I should have done to begin with. Save myself the time. Okay. Now don't that look pretty? So now I have to add numbers again. So let's come back to, why are we not? There we go. Let's go back to this one. Text. Okay, 9 is going over here, which is going to be the swirling bones, and then over here is going to be 10, like that. So now let's add a whirlpool. I like this one, which is obviously too big. Let's put it right about here. Beautiful. Let's move this number 9 down so that it's almost near the epicenter of it, but just to the side of it, I would say would be acceptable. Alright, we're done. Let's save it one more time and then we're going to export it. Map saved. I'm feeling good about it. Now the reason why I'm so zoomed out, because I know I didn't put anything up in Praetor and very little in Malathorn, is because this map is not just covering the first book, it's covering all 4. And while it's not present yet in book 3 and 4, we will be visiting pieces of Praetor. I just don't want to highlight what those areas and places are. And we will be visiting Malathorn in book 2, because in book 2 we're going to be near the mountain on the right, which is in Malathorn, and so the marketplace and the inn and the town and those sort of things that are in Ebonthorn, which is what book 1 by number 1, the Tycor Mountain, that's what they visit the most in book 1. That's relevant right now. I'm going to then put the name of the town, of the inn, and the marketplace, the village. I'm going to highlight other things that are going to be important to book 2 when I get to book 2 in the map. So that's why it's as zoomed out as it is because I'm taking into account the places and the things that are going to be visited and etc. by the other 3 books that we just, that I haven't written yet. So now let me figure out how to export this. Export as image. I think that's what I want to do. It's in 2K, that's fine. Save image. Okay, it's going to open it as soon as it's saved. And it has. Let's move it over here so we can all see it. Hold on one second. I'm going to close this and quit Firefox because it's let's make this big. So there it is. There is my map using Incarnate Phase 2. So this is the Phase 2 map. And I like it. I can't say that I don't like it. It's not bad. Not bad at all. And on Monday I will use the other map. I will use Wonder Draft to do this same exact map just using that program. So this is what that program looks like, where I said it looks like it was, you know, created back in the 80s and just never updated. So it's opening the map right now. Look at how it looks. Okay, I don't know why it's flickering like that. It's a very old school looking program. That should not be flickering. Let me move it back. I don't think it liked that I moved it into my main screen. Oh, that truck is still here. Oh god, what did I just do? I think I might have just broken it. After I was just giving it such high praises. Basically, this is what's supposed to be opening right now, and it appears to have crashed. So hold on 1 second while I do the almighty force quit and force quit Wonderdraft and try to open that again. This time I'm just going to open it directly from the map. What do you mean? How can there be no application set to open that? Let me tell you which one opens it. You dummies. No. Why isn't it here? Isn't this in alphabetical order? It's not in alphabetical order. I don't know why it's not known. That's the application that saved it. Okay, just give it a moment. This time I'm going to wait for it to fully open before I move the window over. Okay, so now it's fully opened. And now I'm going to move the window over. As soon as I can get myself to be able to close these other things. Okay, I think my computer is freaking out because I have so many things open. So let's close some stuff. Alright, so this is the program that I will use. Whoa. That's what I was afraid of. The resolution totally freaked out on me. That's why it was messing up before. Yeah, I'll have to figure out why it's doing that before tomorrow. But, so here is that map. I am also using the beta program, and that could be an issue too, which I think last time I used this, I said I was going to download the actual program as opposed to the beta because there will be glitches like this. Okay, so I'm going to basically take what I did in the other one and recreate it here. I don't know where my name of Ebenthorn just disappeared to, but it disappeared. Using this program, which I'm now going to quit out of because it's freaking out. Okay. And it will hopefully look like this, only in black and white, as opposed to color the way this one looks. But yeah, so I was going to be on here for another hour, but instead I'm going to go and figure out or find out what in the heck is going on outside with these garbage collector mover people. So thank you, Sketch, for being here, and Video Garber and Kit Falbo if you're still here. lurking. Thanks for the lurks. I probably will not be on Monday because Monday is my 2-year wedding anniversary. Um, so I'm likely not going to be streaming on Monday, but I will definitely be on Tuesday. So yeah, I keep forgetting that. So you might not see me on Monday, but you'll definitely see me on Tuesday. So Sketch, you and I will talk, off stream about other things. So everyone have a good weekend. Enjoy your Saturday. Enjoy your Sunday, and I will catch you guys on